Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Let's now begin by telling you about some developments in the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, where the factional chairman of the party, you heard what is happening in Delta State. This time around, all eyes on Ondo State. Senator Alimadu Sheriff says the reconciliation moves within the party is a continuous process and that he has not backed out as the national chairman of the party despite the ongoing reconciliation process. We're in the phase of the crisis rocking the party. He was speaking in Ijebu-Igbo at a meeting with key PDP party members in Ogun State after the presentation of the flag and the flag of campaign for the party's flag bearer in Ore, Ondo State, while assuring that the legal battle between its candidate and aggrieved Yitayo Jagade faction is no threat to the party's chances in the forthcoming governorship election in Ondo State. He also expressed confidence that the party's flag bearer, Mr. Jima Ibrahim, will coast to victory overwhelmingly. And these are the words of Senator Sheriff.
This flag up, I asked them to flag up less than 48 hours. And you have seen what somebody that is not on ground will never put this kind of preparedness within short time, which means that there's acceptability from his community. I did that deliberately. I want to see the level of acceptance of our candidate. I found out that he is properly on ground and the people of Ondo State believe in what he has been telling them.
Of course, I mean, whatever you're watching right now, it's going to be a very interesting conversation right here on the program. If you're on the move, you can watch right now on your mobile, any of your devices, be it Android or Apple devices. You can watch right now because we are live on Facebook and you get to comment and watch. There you go, right there. That's the interface that you should be seeing right now on Facebook. When you are in front of your TV, of course, you can check what is happening right now on YouTube, on all the platforms, iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry. They are home for the news is here for you tonight on Politics Today. Well, let's get moving now, shall we? It has not been a rosy relationship between the Buhari-led executive, even the National Assembly. Yes, of course. It seems all of us know that now. The lawmakers have given a tough stance on some policies and proposals from the presidency. Some of the events have appeared a major standoff between the two major arms of government. For example, the Senate threw out the proposal to get a loan of about $30 billion US in foreign loan. The MTF proposal too suffered a similar treatment. Some of the lawmakers have even accused some of President Buhari's cabinet members of incompetence in what they call a shoddy presentation of some of their proposals and presentations. Well, let's start the conversation right now, right here on the program. A major story tonight with the event of today on the floor of the Senate. Well, what happened was that the Senate today rejected 46 non-career ambassadorial nominees sent by President Muhammadu Buhari for confirmation. Yeah, you will ask yet again. Yes, again and again, we've seen this happening in the National Assembly. The federal lawmakers say they rejected the list because of the myriad of petitions which the Committee on Foreign Affairs received over the nomination of the ambassadors. It will be recorded, of course, that some lawmakers had earlier faulted the presidency for not including an ambassadorial nominee for the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The non-career ambassadorial list will now be returned to the presidency for a review before it is sent back to the Senate for confirmation. What a process. Well, let's get some perspective to this matter now, shall we? A member of the upper chamber of the National Assembly, a senator representing Kaduna State, Senator Shehu Sani, joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us, Senator. Very intriguing moment, and some of this drama that we are seeing is somewhat a confrontation between your party, the APC, leaders within the party, and some of what we are seeing, some people will say, it's just an obvious crack in your party. Yet again and again, we are seeing this playing out in the National Assembly. What exactly is happening?
Well, thank you for having me. Well, first of all, I think it is important or necessary to understand the nature on how the parliament works. The Parliament is an independent arm of government, and we have a constitutional responsibility and obligation to do what we need to do. And it is natural sometimes you have a request from the executive arms and then it passes through seamlessly, and sometimes you have some issues associated with such kind of request or presentations. So there is nothing so abnormal. It is everywhere. It happens everywhere in the world, even in developed democracies, that you have executive communications, and if there are problems with such request, and naturally it will be sent back, and this is what has happened. Not that there is an institutional crisis between the National Assembly or the Senate and the presidency.
Senator Sani, we do appreciate your optimism as a senator, of course, a leader in the APC. But well, some of us do understand what happens in politics in Nigeria. We've seen this kind of optimism, and a week after or days after, you see a definite split in the party or division in the party. When you hear senators say that there is a crass incompetence within the cabinet of the president in the way and manner some of the proposals are being presented. For example, let's start with 2016 budget proposal and presentation. It was thrown back to the executive. This time around again, we are seeing the proposal for the foreign loan being thrown back to the president. The MTEV proposal also is suffered another similar treatment. Again, we are seeing the ambassadorial nomination. It looks so much that much work is being done in the presidency, but much of that is not being seen. Or what exactly is the loophole that we're saying? The truth exactly is what Nigerians will want to hear from you, Senator Sani.
Well, you are right, exactly. There are three instances in which we rejected or returned back what the president or the presidency sent to us. And that was the budget, and then the request for the $29 billion loan, and then now the ambassadorial nominees. And for each one we return back, there are reasons which we attach to it, not just return it back for the sake of returning it back. On the budget, there were issues with regards to which of the budget is real or credible, and that was it. And for the second, on the issue of $29 billion, we raised the issue that there was no attached borrowing plan for the request, and then we have to send it back. And this time around, on the issue of the ambassadorial nominees, we received over 250 petitions against, not all, but an appreciable number of those that were sent to the Senate, and then we have to send it back. And there is nothing wrong with sending it back. We are doing what we were elected to do. If you send a request and if there are problems with it, naturally we'll send it back. And there is nothing wrong. You can even have a member of National Assembly presenting a motion or a bill and then is rejected. So it is not, it's within our legislative duty. When things are not right, we send it back for it to be represented.
Senator Sani, when we wonder, it looks so much that things are not right so many times within a very short frame of time. When we wonder, when some people say that some members of President Buhari's cabinet are incompetent, does it really look like that from the point of view of some of the senators or lawmakers?
Well, if you are required to do something which you are expected to have known what to do, and you refuse to do it or you did it wrongly, certainly conclusions will be drawn from your actions, and one of which is that out of incompetency. If you send in a request to the National Assembly, all we need to do is to go through the request which you sent and to ensure that you really send the right thing so that we can do the right thing. But if you send a request to us and there are issues with that, certainly we have to draw your attention to what you did send to us. And the reasons for doing this is that if we refuse to do that, and then certainly the problems or the consequences of that will fall on us. So you send a request for $29 billion without a borrowing plan. We have to send it back, and then though there are three opinions on that, there are those who believe that we don't need $29 billion, and there are some who think that we should send it back, and then the right thing.
I'd like to pause you just for a moment, Senator Sani, if you will hold that thought, because we need to go on a short break, and when we return, I'll allow you to land on that thought, and we take a moment, and when we come back, more intrigues on the loan request, the crack in the APC, and the way forward. Join us again.